Welcome to the Developmental, a podcast about the messy, beautiful ways grown-ups grow up. Here, we explore turning the science into the day-to-day practice of adult development in teams, homes, organizations, and life. I am Alis Anagnostakis. I'm an adult development researcher, a group facilitator, coach, and founder of the Vertical Development Institute. My obsession with lifelong development goes as far back as I can remember. As a child, I tried really hard to make sense of the whole idea of adulthood and found myself challenging its premises and promises. Why did grown-ups, who were supposed to be so powerful, wise, and mature, often seem to not know how to manage their own emotions? Why did they overreact, misjudge situations, or make poor decisions? Were the people who inhabited the holy land of adulthood right in maintaining that they should be in charge because they were older and they knew better? What did the phrase, "you'll understand when you grow up," really mean? Was being a biological adult the same as being mature? In my mind at the time, some adults were obviously wiser than others, and I wondered what made it so. I hoped I might someday become one of those truly grown-ups I deeply admired. These questions followed me into my own adulthood and led me on a path of studying social science and psychology and into a career in adult education and organizational learning. Over the years, I've been privileged to work with thousands of leaders and teams across many industries, sectors, and different cultures, all the while continuing my own search for more wisdom. I taught soft skills in organizations and realized that knowing what to do is not enough, and that smartness, knowledge, and wisdom often did not go hand in hand. Many leaders I worked with were not lacking an understanding of how to give constructive feedback or how to delegate effectively. Yet, they were not doing any of these useful things with their teams. I've seen highly competent and intelligent people create toxic work cultures, completely oblivious to their impact, despite their brilliance and technical expertise. And I've also seen other leaders skillfully guiding their organizations through troubled times, bringing out the best in their people and seemingly sensing the right path forward, even in midst of the deepest uncertainty. What made the difference between these people? How could we support creating learning cultures that fostered more wisdom alongside more knowledge? When I came across a little-known at the time branch of developmental psychology called adult development, I felt a whole universe open, which challenged the fundamental assumptions of what adulthood was and wasn't. I learned that grown-ups do in fact, under the right circumstances, continue to grow up mentally, emotionally, and interpersonally throughout their whole lives. This kind of growth, often called vertical development, could not be fostered simply by teaching new sets of skills, was the other thing I learned. I went on to do a PhD studying the difference between vertical and horizontal development and the lived experience of people undergoing profound personal transformation. In the process, I gained deep respect for the hardship and beauty of growing up, and an understanding that this process requires work with ourselves every single day. I realized that while many people have a wish to develop into ever more mature versions of themselves, they often don't know how to go about it. The Vertical Development Institute was born from the dream of bridging the science and the practice of vertical development, and this podcast is one such bridge. Here, I will invite leaders, learning experts, developmental researchers to share their own experiences of growth, helping make the science accessible and, most importantly, sharing perspectives, tools, and practices you can apply into your own work and life. We'll explore development in leadership, in teams and organizations, but we'll also shift gears and look at development in our personal relationships or in the way we raise our own children. Once per month, I'll invite you into a new story and a new reflection. Hopefully, each will provide a new understanding of the lifelong journey of growing up. Mostly, I hope you feel inspired to create new meaningful experiments for yourself, ones that you can learn from and grow from. Here in the developmental space, we assume none of us have the perfect answers, and none of us have yet arrived in our quest for adulthood. We're all humbly learning from each other and striving towards more maturity. So come join me and my guests on this learning so we may find new ways to continue growing ourselves up.